So what's up, everybody? My name is Joey. I'm here with the Historican podcast, Joey Sofrito for Life. I'm here. I'm honored. You've seen these people before. We did a quick preview. This is the actual podcast. We are here with Bomba de Aquí. I want to introduce them. I'm going to let them talk to you, tell you all about themselves. We're here to talk about the history, the culture, and the impact. There's no better way than to find the people who are doing it and let the culture speak for itself. And that's what they do on a daily basis. So, like I said, I'm Sofrito for Life Joey, and this is Brendalíz Cepeda. She is one of the directors of Bomba de Aquí, and we have Saul El Pulpo
Peñalosa.
de la familia Peñalosa de Loíza, y ella viene de la familia Cepeda. We're going to hear about that family and the connection as we go. So I just want to welcome you. Welcome to Historican Podcast.
Wow. Thank you.
Tell us where we are. Tell me a little bit about where we are, because I didn't mention that, and then we'll get into some questions.
Okay, so welcome everyone. You guys are currently located in our studio, 143 High Street in Holyoke. As our daughter likes to say, Holyoke is Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico is Holyoke.
Right.
And this is our second studio. Our first studio, we used to have a studio in Granby, but we knew that we had to be located here where our people are at.
No better place than Holyoke.
Right.
The little Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's dig into who we have in front of us. Who is Bomba de Aquí? So, Brenda, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you found Bomba and Plena in your life? And then I'm going to ask the same thing you go, Pupo, so you get to think while she's answering.
So, as you said, I grew up with Bomba, and I have the honor, obviously, my grandfather, Rafael Cepeda, and my grandmother, Abuela Caridad Cepeda, who had opened the doors for this beautiful music.
He's not a patriarch.
He is the patriarch of Bomba because he honored his ancestors that gave us this music, which we'll talk later about where Bomba, comes from. And, my grandfather worked so hard to maintain this music that he even left Puerto Rico for a little bit and traveled throughout the States to teach Bomba. And so that's why he is loved, and people honor the Cepeda, right? Because we never let that go. So where I come in is my father, Roberto Cepeda. My father is local, Connecticut.
Okay.
He has his own group, Bomba Che, and he's been doing Bomba music since 5. He is known. He's in Connecticut, Bomba Che, but he is known to be the maestro baile, the dancer of Bomba.
The best
dancer.
Best.
My next maestro.
Because he, the story is that at the age of 5, he was sitting down watching his brothers and sisters practicing. And one day he got up and he went, tuk, 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 tuk. And, my grandfather cried, my grandmother cried. And from there, he was just a dancer.
Wow.
And so he was part of a group in New York called Los Pleneros de la 21. And Los Pleneros de la 21 didn't have Bomba until he arrived. So he incorporated the piece of the Afro-Caribbean Bomba, right? Because they did Plena, but he incorporated Bomba. And as you know, that they were the first ones to go to Sesame Street.
Yeah,
and they were big for that. That video is all over the place. People play it all over the place. At one point, he went to my elementary school, PS 30, and I was 6 years old. No, PS 30. That was in the Bronx. And I was about
to the Bronx.
I gotta big up my people in the Bronx.
Yeah, baby.
So, he went to my school, PS 30. I was in elementary. I think I was in 2nd grade. And that was the first time that it was just exciting to see my father. And so I was eager to be there. I had my uniform on. I was ready to go. I put on all my clothes that my mom put out for me. So he comes to PS 30, right? And he's coming, he's playing, he's drumming. And I'm like, all right, this is my time. He calls me up. He's like, oh, come on, my daughter, come on.
Whoa.
I'm running up the stairs, and I'm getting on the stage, and I start, doing my skirt. And all I heard was, and I'm like, oh, I'm doing a good job. People are speechless. Then when I went downstairs, my mom looked at me angry, and I said, what happened? She's like, you forgot putting on the shorts. So my first preview was not a good one. I don't forget nothing.
Oh my.
Trust me, nobody doesn't forget nothing when they're with me. Yeah, and then, as I got older, I lived with my tío Jesus, Maestro Jesus Cepeda. I lived with him for three years, and then that's when I got closer to the bomba, and I stayed with my grandfather too, from part of his last years, And from there, I moved here, had my life, went to school, teaching. And then at one point, at the age of, I want to say 30, is when I wanted to do the Bomba group. And I started with Bomba, ¿cuál era? Gracima? Yeah, Bomba Gracima. Yeah, el primer grupo. I think it was Bomba. I don't remember the first name. My cousin, Chulin, Jose Cepeda, he's the one who gave me the name. Okay. And then we did it, and then I met my husband, and
so
then...
the Cepedas are spread out still.
Oh, we're spread out.
Doing Bomba.
We are everywhere. California is my cousin. My other cousin is in Florida. Like, we are spread out, but connected.
Work too?
We are spread out, but connected. So we do have gatherings, and we do talk, and,
and
just to maintain everything.
Bomba de Aquí started with Bomba something else.
Something I forgot that it would have come to me.
Yeah.
And then I met my husband. And then from there, we connected.
In the Bomba world?
And
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It was because he was with the Bomba here, because he was in a group with Freddy called Los Gigantes de la Plena.
Oh, wow. Entonces, tenemos el grupo.
That's where he comes
in. La Bomba y la Plena, y dime tu historia con eso.
Yo empecé a los 6 años. 6 años de edad.
¿En Loíza?
No, eso es lo raro de lo que te conté. Yo soy nacido en Río Piedra y criado en el residencial Víctor en Torres, el residencial más grande del Caribe, de las Antillas. So, yo me crié ahí. O sea, allá dentro de la escuela había una escuela. Se llamaba la escuela María Martínez de Pérez Almirón. Es una escuela elemental. Víctor Fuentes era el maestro de música cuando yo tenía 6 años, sí, 6 años. Él era mi maestro de música. Negrito, llegó con un barril. Yo pensaba que era una conga. Yo digo, ¿eso es una conga? Y me dijo, no, eso no es una conga. Eso es un barril de bomba. ¿De bomba? ¿Qué es eso, la bomba?
Bien.
Me fui caminando, fui aprendiendo. Empecé a tocar con Norma Salazar, que también era mi maestra de arte. Que tenía un grupo, que era un grupo de bomba, donde mi maestro era el director. Pues así pasaron los años y seguí en la cultura. Luego conozco lo que es la plena. Entonces, una vez ahí combino dos cosas. Pasa un tiempo, estoy en Puerto Rico, un amigo mío se tenía que venir para Estados Unidos. Yo tomo el lugar de él en una orquesta de Barreto, saludos Barreto. Estuve ahí, me dieron la oportunidad por primera vez de estar en lo que es una tarima, y de ahí para acá, lo demás es historia. Ya de cumpleaños, todas que se vieron, todo, la bomba. La bomba para mí es algo, es medicina. Yo le digo a todo el mundo, la bomba es medicina, tanto medicina como natural, como musical.
Sí.
Me explico.
Dime.
para entrar un poco en contexto de lo que te quiero explicar. Un día, un tipo que yo no conocía en ese tiempo, porque estaba persiguiendo a un muchacho con una bandera supremacista.
Sí.
Wow.
Él estaba porque le hizo un corte pastelillo, como
Sí.
decimos, y él se le fue detrás. Pero vio la bandera. La bandera de Puerto Rico. El muchacho era boricua.
Ah,
Se paró, dio la vuelta, puso el nombre de él y me dijo, llama cuando pueda.
Oh, sí, ya.
Llama cuando pueda, puso el número. Y llame. Y me mira, que estoy interesado en saber lo que hay en el centro. Y yo le expliqué. Él es veterano. Y él me dijo que en el tiempo que él estuvo ahí, la bomba lo sanó. La bomba lo llevó a ser quien es él hoy en día. O sea,
wow.
lo hizo crecer.
Sí.
Crecer musicalmente. Porque ya a él le gustaba un poquito la guitarra,
Tocando.
tocaba un poquito de batería. Pero cuando él conoció la bomba y averiguó su historia,
It moved him.
¡pam! Subió. José Rosario.
Mhm.
Rosario.
Wow.
Yo siempre le cuento esta gente porque la bomba no es lo que las personas piensan. Hay mucha gente que tiene un tabú de la bomba. Hay gente que dice que la bomba, eso es de brujería,
Sí.
eso es de santería.
Bueno,
Eso-
es un momento, podemos decir, que es bomba y que es...
Ya, eso no es mismo.
¿Qué es bomba?
Ya ves.
La bomba para mí, o sea, la bomba vino de nuestros ancestros africanos, de Ashanti, Congo, diferentes partes de África, ¿verdad? Esclavizados, fueron a Puerto Rico esclavizados, y ahí, cuando estaban esclavizados, ellos tenían ya sus ritmos, tenían sus cosas, y ellos celebraban cuando las cosas le iban bien,
Sí.
no todo el tiempo.
No.
Cuando las cosas le iban bien, ellos celebraban. Lo que hacían era que iban a donde el hacendado, el dueño de la hacienda, y le pedían los barriles. Porque los barriles, esos barriles que ustedes ven aquí,
Sí.
en esos barriles metían ropa, comida, ron, metían vino, todo lo metían en eso para poder traerlo en los barcos. So, llegan a tierra los barriles, todos rotos. Esos son los que ellos regalan. Ok, pues le ponen un cuero. Ellos vinieron ya con la idea de ellos, de allá. Ok, pues no tenemos las facilidades. Vamos a inventarlo porque ellos vinieron inventando desde allá. Ellos tenían sus tradiciones, sus cosas. Hicieron un barril de bomba, soga,
Sí.
porque para ese tiempo no había nada de eso, de lo que hay ahora. Eso es la janilla,
Sí,
con
sí,
cáncamo,
sí.
eso no existía. Le metieron soga, le metieron cuero, lo metieron en fuego para que subiera, hicieron sus cánticos y sus cosas, y ya pues se regó por todo Puerto Rico. En el 1500,
In the 17th century, around there.
sí, ellos, ¿verdad? Entraban por San Juan. Ellos entraban por
And
San
then
Juan.
they spread out.
Y de San Juan por todo Puerto Rico. Eso es la bomba.
Tiene la plena, entonces.
Ok, la plena,
Translate both because I have
Okay.
some stuff to add.
perdón. La plena vino de Ponce.
Ajá.
Según el documento más antiguo de la plena, data del 1905.
Oh.
Estamos hablando que la plena es más cerca de acá. O sea, más,
Sí.
la plena es más joven
Sí,
que la bomba. Habla en el artículo que un corillo, unas personas, estaban haciendo ruido en una esquina de un colmado. Había como un sitio, como una actividad
Sí.
entre ellos y sacaron unos panderos a lo que ellos le llamaban plena. Plena. Ok, le llamaron plena. Eso según el jornalista, el que está escribiendo el artículo,
Sí, sí.
que eran gente de escasos recursos,
Mm.
gente de barrio, gente, pero él no lo dijo así, él dijo gente mugrosa,
Sí.
haciendo ruido,
Sí,
se lo digo mal.
sí.
So, de ahí sale la plena, 1905, de Puerto Rico, de Ponce.
Bueno.
So for me, everything he says, but I'm just gonna kind of, I love explaining Bomba and like a story, because we definitely have to, we have the history of it, right? And we have to go back to the original people of Boriquín, which were the indigenous people, until the Spain, his name that we don't say, not gonna honor him, but
Bumped into something, made a mistake.
until that person, it's kind of like Harry Potter. We're not gonna say his
Yeah, we don't
name.
know. It's like Beetlejuice.
So that person arrives to Boriquín, thinking that they're the one who discovered Boriquín, but there were people already there. And the history behind that, which I'm sure people know, and this is just kind of going real quick, is how this person comes and looking for gold or looking for something exotic, and also at the same time, pills, diseases, we can name it, and pretty much left little of our Taino roots, right? Then moving fast forward, they were looking more people to enslave. So who was next?
Us.
So we're looking at the west coast of Africa, that they did the slave trade throughout the Atlantic Ocean. So they took the area of Congo area, the Bantu, Ashanti, all the beautiful people, what represents us, and just packed them in to become slaves in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Now, there is books that have data that talks about them landing in San Juan, Puerto Rico, because there's a lot of myths out there. A lot of people would say, oh, well, they were in Loíza, because everybody in Loíza is dark skinned. So they landed in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and then they spread out Ponce, Mayagüez, those areas. Now, what does Bomba look like back then? Looks different now, obviously, because Bomba has evolved.
Yep.
But the real reason of Bomba, which stayed its essence and its mission, is what the Africans put together and talked about and sang about in their songs is uprising. Words like getting away from their masters, escaping. That was Bomba.
Resistance music.
That was Bomba. That's why you see a lot of songs nowadays talk about politics and why is this happening to us. So they gather around. They express themselves. They even had secret meetings about how to escape. Things happen in between of that period and then growing into the period of now. But if you look at each period, you see that the mission is still the same.
Resistance. I hate to butt in, but there's this big, beyond Bad Bunny, there's this big re-emergence of Bomba and Plena everywhere. One of the reasons I want to give you voice to it, so you keep the culture where it's supposed to be, doesn't start to stray. And if Bomba's about resistance, and if it keeps coming up, and it shows up as resistance, what do you think? Either Bomba de Aquí is resisting, or why? Where's the resistance now? Where's the work now?
So our part is traditions, right? Because a lot of traditions are leaving, and that's where we come in. That's our fight. Our fight is the youth wanting to not, honor their ancestors. They don't want to honor their traditions. They don't even want to honor where they come from, and that just a little bendición. When we see our grandparents or our parents, we always say bendición, and they say Dios le bendiga, and that little piece right there is the piece that kind of, you know, make our day. I can even hear Saul sometimes talk to his grandmother, be like, "Yeah, no me dijiste Dios me bendiga." I remember way back then.
Dormiste conmigo.
Dormiste conmigo, no me dijiste Dios me bendiga. You know.
Yo salí de casa de mi abuela y yo le dije a mi abuela, abuela bendición, y mi abuela no me contestó.
It's silent. And Saul was like, "Wait a minute." Oh,
Something.
Eso es difícil.
it's hard. But the youth today, how many of our youth that we taught them about that bendición?
Tell us about the work. Tell us what you're doing as Bomba de Aquí and how you're showing this to the youth. And because you are, you know, as much as there's those young people who haven't had that exposure, you're exposing them. I was just saying, y'all have more gigs than you have days in a week.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
what are y'all doing now? Tell us about Bomba de Aquí. What are the things that you do?
You know, so we started Bomba de Aquí when my husband left Los Gigantes de la Plena. Because we wanted to work with Los Gigantes de la Plena. We wanted to try to do something together. But, you know, every group has their own vibe, their own mission. This is where this podcast is going to shift. I was being politically correct, but you know what? We'll shift it to Saul. Go ahead, Saul.
¿Qué fue?
Yo cuando estaba con Freddy y los Gigantes de la Plena, me invitaron a tocar con ellos a una actividad de Brenda. Cuando yo le estaba escribiendo a Brenda, mira, estoy acá, acabo de llegar de Puerto Rico, si me necesitas, puedes llamar, puedo tocar con ustedes. Oh, sí, yo te dejo saber, le dije a ella. Ella me dijo a mí. Y yo, papá, le pregunté al papá y papá me dijo lo mismo. Soy yo. Entonces, como que me pichó. Soy yo. Ok, me pichó. Había una actividad de Palo Fever.
Cool. It was
a great school, yeah.
Había una actividad, ella era la maestra. La maestra.
Mm-hmm.
Hace tiempo todavía.
No, Joey wasn't in till later.
Yeah.
But this is the old timers. This is Luba. When Luba was the one who opened up the Apollo Theater. So you going back, so.
That's why you back with the Amazon Center.
It was in Hollywood.
La finca.
La finca.
Oh, sí.
Mm-hmm.
Entonces, pues ella salió a bailar, estábamos tocando. Ella salió a bailar y yo empecé a tocarle y desde ahí.
That's where the
Same story. I'm not gonna take them. I'm like, same story.
All right, awesome. So what are you doing with Bomba de Aquí now?
Okay, this is what we're doing. We got together. We started light. We wanted to be in festivals and shows. We did a couple few free.
It was just you two?
It was us two.
The free teams.
That's
Our name out
that's the hustle.
That was the hustle in the beginning. Or even gas money. Let's real talk. Gas money. Yeah, and we did a lot of that. We did. And we started just us two. Wow. Geraldo was with us during that time.
Geraldo me lo presentó Darwin.
Darwin
era tuyo, Geraldo, y Darwin a veces que lo llevábamos.
Yep.
Bueno, tocando y dando clase también.
We didn't do classes yet.
Todavía.
Then it got to the point that after a few years later, maybe 3 or 4, I said, 3 years. I said, you know what? We already putting a name for ourselves. Let's go for the next step. So no more free stuff after 2 years. No, we were like, So then at one point we started going to schools to do workshops after school because I was still working at Apollo Fair.
There you go.
So we did after schools, and then I sat down with Saul and I said, I always wanted to do an after school program or a program. And I think this is it. So that's when I resigned from Apollo Fair. And
you came back. We tried to get you back. That's when I met you.
Yes. Yep. And then, but I came back, and then after COVID is when I officially, I said, so we went straight doing multicultural learning center. And then we did Bomba de Aquí shows. and now we have the studio. So it was like shows, trying to work our way up. Then we did the after school program. Then we did during the school program with Multicultural Learning Center. And now we give classes here. So we are busy.
Yeah, we'll go back to busy. You've had, like I said, you have more events than there's more days. But you don't, I happen to have been blessed to play with you and learn from you since just the beginning. I know that.
Yeah, I know.
But what I didn't know when I first joined is that all your students are involved with all your shows.
Yes.
So tell me about the students and their performances with you and what they're doing. And then I have a question that something you said last time that really touched me that I want to ask both of you.
So for our students, we always have a journey where, we get seen. It's like a revolving door. Bomba, like Saul said, bomba is medicine. At the end of the day, people come to us for different reasons, and somehow bomba, it could be whatever. It could be whatever. Because we form community. At the end of the day, we form community. We connect with other people, and they connect with other people. And, we were blessed to be that type of revolving door where we get different people come in, and then, or people that would stay with us. Because we still have our veterans, I would call them, that is still with us, that would come once in a while for some gigs. Hey, they'd be like, you playing here? Can I come out? And I said, of course, So, so now with what we're forming now, we have these festivals and we allow our students to show what they've learned. And it's beautiful because it's not like we push them out there.
There was no, I was like, what?
Oh, no pressure. But we'll get together. We do a little rehearsal. I talk to my dancers. And, we come out and we enjoy ourselves. And we're on Facebook. We on, we help them, but they also help us. And that's why this is their home. They could call us for anything. You guys can call us for, and we'll be there because it's like a door. You guys are there for us. We're there for you. And we just want to keep on letting you guys grow,
So you said something last time. A lot of people would look at the work you're doing and say, you're saving Bomba, you're saving our culture, you're saving our land, our history, and giving it back to us, which is true. But you said something to me, you say, we're not saving Bomba, Bomba saved us. What do you mean by that?
Like Saul said, Bomba is healing. We all entered Bomba for different reasons. And because of us entering Bomba in different reasons, we all plant the seed where we at, and then we connect to someone. They plant the seed, and they connect to someone. They plant the seed. It's just keeps on going around where our community grows bigger and bigger, and a lot of connections. But that's what our ancestors gave us.
Can you tell me about one of those stories about a person that came through this?
Well,
you were telling the history of Bomba de Aquí. Tell me about someone you would talk about.
So I have many students that, but I have a student that she came in wanting to learn Bomba, and, not getting to her past, but this woman has a beautiful voice, she does a lot of work, among herself, very, spiritual, and we connected, and she was like kind of, I became her teacher for a little bit, and I invited her to some of the gigs, and then our community grew bigger, but she was still involved with us, and it got to the point that somebody noticed her voice. Freddie noticed her voice, and she started singing Bomba.
Wow.
So in a couple of times, she was our singer.
Oh, beautiful.
So now she moved on, obviously, because like I said, we're evolving. People don't stay with us that long, and that's okay. Now she moves on and she travels. She goes to Spain sometimes. Wow. She goes to Puerto Rico, and she's using her voice, she dances Bomba. And, and I'm sure once in a while she honors me as a teacher and other teachers as well.
Yeah.
And that right there is what makes me feel happy. You know, that makes me very proud. A lot of people want to do bomba for different reasons. A lot of people want to do bomba just to be known, to be a star. But my personal goal mission, which it became Saul's personal goal, is was to enter the community and into the youth. It was to be an education. It was a tool. It was, you know, not even medicine, but for youth, it was education. It was to just teaching, constant teaching.
So, ese es uno de mis propósitos. Yo poder enseñarle a la gente y que la gente siga con lo que yo le enseñé, que la gente también busque información
Sí, sí.
y sigan para adelante con lo que yo le enseñé y la información que consiguieron y pudieran hacer y seguir creciendo la bomba. Ese es uno de mis propósitos, realmente desde que comencé esto. Ahora mismo habemos sobre 5 grupos de bomba. Yo aquí en la región de New England, por lo menos yo quiero que digan más
Sí,
grupos,
sí, sí, sí.
que digan más,
Como 100 grupos.
más unión. Sí, que hagan un grupo como en Puerto Rico. En Puerto Rico tú le metes una pata a un matojo y salen 50,000 grupos. Yo quiero crear un movimiento en New England en los cuales todo el que se ve envuelto siga aprendiendo conocimiento. Quiero seguir trayendo artistas como Jerry Ferrao,
sí.
son historiadores, que son gente que sabe de la historia, porque estudié.
I love you, Jerry. Rafael Concepcion, Gabilón. Oh my God, who else? Emmanuel. We got a lot of artists here. Tata Cepeda.
Who were your heroes? Who were your heroes in this work? Either the cultural work, the education work, or the music work?
Yeah, people already know mine.
Mi héroe.
Sí. ¿Y si hay más de uno?
Si yo pudiera, bueno, mis héroes.
Sí.
Pues primero tengo que poner a quien me enseñó. A quien me enseñó, que me puso un tambor por primera vez, el señor Tico Fuentes, para descanse. Que es el que yo pongo siempre adelante y siempre le digo a todo el mundo. Él fue mi maestro, él fue el que me metió en la bomba. A la señora Norma Salazar también, al maestro Tite Cure Alonso también fue parte de ese crecimiento y esas ganas de seguir aprendiendo sobre la bomba. Jerry Ferrao, es un héroe para mí. Todo lo que conlleva al Bisu, todo lo que conlleva la historia de Puerto Rico, esos son mis héroes.
Sí, sí,
todos los que llevan un granito para sembrar un árbol, ¿verdad? Un boricua que lleva un granito y se va afuera a Japón. Hay gente en Japón tocando bomba, o aprendieron bomba en Puerto Rico. Y es como que, wow, esos son mis héroes.
Wow. Mine is my grandfather, my grandmother, and then all the lineage that goes down and all the lineage that goes up. You know, my ancestors, they've been keeping me strong. Seeing my grandmother being a woman and also dancing, and also as a sign of my grandfather moving the bomba group, you know, that for me is amazing. My grandfather, my father, you know, I could go on and on.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. And you may know it already, but you are one of my heroes, both of you.
Oh.
When the reason why we do this work is all the people in my group, we want to know more, we want to share more. And we do it by doing this. Mm-hmm. And we want other people to do the same thing as plant those seeds and put them out there. Because once they're grown, they grow. Yeah. So you've converted into heroes, and I know it's not just what I've heard in my heart, in my head, it's what I hear from the people in this room when you're doing your work.
That's good. We're doing it.
So with all that in mind, knowing that you have amazing lineage, you have history, you have culture, you have experience, you're the experts in this beautiful work, what's next? What's next? What do you want to make? I mean, if all the things you do in work and they keep going, what does it look like? What's next?
Well, we have a book out.
Yes.
That's what's going on. The echoes of my journey. It's out. It's on Amazon.
Awesome.
It's on Lulu. You know, the echoes of my journey.
Echoes of my journey.
So,
Echoes of my journey on Amazon.
Right here is the I got the hat.
Yeah.
This was done by, I want to say her name right, Brendalíz. She was one of my vendors in the event of July 19th, and she did this beautiful hat with the,
Yeah, that's the character from the book, right?
The book, yep, Paulina. So, and
while we're on art, what is this art behind us in the Bomba de Aquí Cultural Center?
Well, here right now, behind us was made a young girl around the age of 1920, and she does a lot of artwork. So she did this mural here because I told her I want something with bomba in it, and she did bomba. She did bomba. She's like, "You want bomba? Toma."
Wow.
And then the one over there, you guys can't see it, but it's kind of like a Spain, but Taino symbols, beautiful.
You got to come to the center to see.
You got to come to the center to see the other one. Right, so the Echoes of My Journey book review will be on August 10th at Evie's Place in Springfield Plaza. That book, it's funny because a lot of bomba books, a lot of people who are doing bomba books, right? That went on the train of the bomba books. They did it for preschool, And I was like, I'm not doing nothing for preschool. I'm not doing nothing for babies. Yeah. I'm gonna do it on the ages exactly. And what better way is to do it is in middle school and high school, because that's when they talk about the history of the Tainos. Yeah. They talk about the history if they talk about it the right way, right? But anyway, let's
you in.
Right.
Because you're in a lot of schools right now.
Schools, so I'll be checking all of you. Anyway, so, what a better way to have this book that connects to the history of, when the teacher talks about, let's say, Boriquén.
That connects mission about education.
And it connects right there. So the just real quick, the story is about a girl who wants to know about her traditions, who she is, where she comes from. Her mom doesn't want to tell her anything. Her mom wants to keep it a secret. And then there's a tree that is behind her house where she gets to touch the tree, and then it transports her to her ancestors. So it's a series. Okay. So the first book, it transports her to Boriquén. But you gotta buy the book. Read it.
Okay.
Something happens to her.
So next podcast, we doing the educational book review.
Right.
Wait, what's the name of the book again?
The Echoes of My Journey.
Echoes of My Journey. Okay.
And then, so this is what's happening next, all right? Because Saul doesn't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. We're going to be, now we're traveling. I thank God for these opportunities. We're going to be in Florida, maybe in Georgia soon, certain areas to teach bomba. More of the book reviews, more of the book readings in different places. And we're coming out with an app.
What would be classes online. Okay.
Aprender lo básico del ritmo, aprender de la historia.
And history and culture.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So it's an app.
When's that going to download it? When's that going to debut?
It's coming soon. It's a working process.
Okay.
But they get to
fly. Maybe we'll see.
We're busy and we are honoring our mission. Again, we never wanted to do this with the hopes of, being on concerts or anything, big like that. Maybe it happens. But our true vision was to be in the schools, was to work in our community. Thanks to the community, we're working.
Yep.
you.
This is it. This is it.
Thank you. We work in 24/7. We're busy. Sometimes in the morning we wake up, we don't have anything in the morning, and we're like,
What?
Well,
Well,
go to a park or something like that.
let's go. We gotta do something because this is weird.
let's go find
Well,
to learn.
want to learn.
Bring your drum out.
I was walking with the drum and with the skirt. Anybody want to learn? Anybody want to learn?
Yo, that's dope. Mira, if there's a last thing you want to tell the world about what you're doing or any last message, what would it be?
A toda la juventud, todo tipo de persona que esté comenzando en lo que es la bomba y la plena, sea del país que sea puertorriqueño, sea de cualquier nacionalidad, aprenda a escuchar a las personas que son. Busquen información, instruya, no coja como el papagayo, vea un tutorial en YouTube y se ponga a dar clases por allá. Atienda la clase, vaya de la gente que sabe. Si es lo tuyo, tíralo para adelante. Y si no, ruégale para adelante también.
¿Dónde viene el pulpo?
El pulpo, ese apodo, eso vino de un primo mío. Él me dice, que yo toco el requinto y la plena
sí, sí.
con una mano y me lo cambiaba para la otra. No todo el mundo hace eso. Es que ahora lo hacen. Quizás lo hacen bien para mí.
No ego, no ego.
Pues el primo mío me dijo, oh, tú pareces un pulpo. Digo, un animal inteligente,
Sí.
versátil, multitasking.
Eso.
Pulpo en la camisa, me acordé de ahí que viene la palabra del pulpo. Soy ambidiestro con el pandero.
Otra referencia música.
The only thing that I want to leave as a message for people in Western Mass, Connecticut, everywhere, to honor yourself, to honor traditions, to honor culture. That's when you really shaking the community. That's when you making words. That's when you making movement. That's when we uprise. When we really know who we are, where our traditions come, our culture, and start bonding and start connecting, that's where the people that kind of try to push us down, that's where they start fearing us. We need to connect. We need to get to know who we are. We need to know our traditions, and we need to pass along for the youth. That's all I can say.
Awesome. We could go on and on for days. I'm just remembering the one thing you said at one of the openings for a show we did. If you're looking at the faces of the people while they're dancing their bomba, then you know why, because there's history behind that face. It's not just a ice grill. It's this resistance in that face. We're trying to show you that this is all about resistance. And you did that so beautifully. I can't wait to see you perform again. That's awesome.
All right. Saludo, Historican. This is where it's at, Aqui, en Bomba de Aquí. Thank you so much for allowing us to plant the seed in your podcast, and hopes that everybody will learn Aqui and Historican. Bomba.
Eso de aquí. Thank you. Awesome.